While we're talking about healthcare, let's look at this Planned Parenthood video.
Tell us what's going on there.
Okay, so, and Rob, I sent you this. So Planned Parenthood was selling viable, healthy, aborted babies who could have survived outside the womb to the University of California for experience. So, and Rob has this story, Rob. I think I slacked it to you. And in their contract, it states that they own the intellectual property rights and the patent rights developed in experiments done by the body parts. Okay, so Planned Parenthood and the University of California, San Diego, reportedly negotiated fetal tissue donations for research. Emails and a 2018 research plan revealed that they wanted up to 2,500 fetuses ranging from 4 to 23 weeks gestational age, which is almost 6 months, by the way. Now, donating fetal tissue is legal, but selling them isn't. So why is there a contract that gives Planned Parenthood the property rights over the tissue? I think that's kind of weird. And then Planned Parenthood claims that this is all done under the highest ethical standards. But how is it ethical to negotiate the fate of an unborn child if it's a commodity? It's all transactional, Tom. So, and then add to that the allegations of racial disparities. The Spanish consent, look how racist this is. The Spanish consent forms fail to disclose the same commercial value details as the English one. So basically, if you spoke English, you got the full story. They're going to make money. They're going to, if they get the patents, they make money. But including the fact that the tissue could have commercial value. But if you spoke Spanish, they left that part out, which is freaking racist. And they say, oh, it's not profit. But then why does it's in the stipulation in the contract? Valuable consideration is in the contract. So if you're receiving taxpayer dollars and operating, this is a gray zone, and I think we need answers. So Senator Mark Rubio recently called for a federal investigation into the Parenthood based on these findings. So I think it's like unbelievable, Pat, that this is in conjunction, Planned Parenthood with the UC San Diego, that they were in contract saying, by the way, these babies can survive outside the womb. And I don't know, Pat, it was Tico who told me about this thing where they...
All right, hold up. And we all, and that's that. Yeah, it's a lot to digest. And this is the thing. Like, this is always, like, for me, or what I'm realizing more and more. Everybody, we're all going to have our different thoughts on certain things. And we're all going to, let's say, even if there's people that hated Trump 8 years ago, people that maybe like him now, people that in anything, people that don't like football, now they like football. So you kind of, you get to certain points at different times. Everybody's not going to arrive at the same point or to the same understanding at the same time. That's a lot to ask for. And I think a lot of times when it comes to abortion, a lot of us are looking at it, and I know I used to, from a perspective of how I grew up thinking about it. Like, I just grew up looking at abortion like it's just no big deal, better than having a baby. Yeah, she's gonna have that was the mindset. The day after, nobody thought about the things that the woman may go through physically, mentally. Like, nobody, like, I'm telling y'all, that's the culture that we grew up on. It was just like, yo, nah, you're gonna get this abortion. Like, it is what it is. That's the culture that we grew up in. So a lot of ways it shifted our mindset and our perspective on it. What I've tried to challenge myself now is to look at a few different things. One, and I think they're going to talk about it on this video in maybe a minute or so, which is 40% of these abortions that happen in the country are Black people, but Black people don't make up anywhere near close to 40%. Margaret Sanger, when she opened up the Planned Parenthood, she didn't open up Planned Parenthood in her wealthy New York neighborhoods that she lived in. She came to the hood to make money off of providing abortion care or whatever they were calling it at the time for the neighborhoods that didn't have her population of people in. So I'm always skeptical of people that sell things to other people, but don't sell those same things to their own community and their people. So when you look at it from that standpoint, it kind of shifts your perspective on it. Where for me, it was like, okay, I understand how I used to think about it, but I realized that a lot of that way of thinking was just based on a culture that was created in a lot of marketing. That's what Big Pharma does. That's what the Planned Parenthood does. They mask what they're trying to do by saying like, oh, this is women's rights to reproductive rights. It's like, how is it a reproductive right when it's a abortion? You're terminating, a pregnancy. So I think when we can step outside of that, it allows us to look at these type of situations a little bit differently and at least have some sort of common understanding on why some people may be against it. And of course, understanding, both sides of it if we can. Some people may not. That's cool as well. Stand firm in what you stand on. But I just think that when we look at Planned Parenthood, regardless of how you feel about abortions, we have to understand how shady of an organization that they are, how they manipulate a lot of our kids in some of their scariest times. Think about it. You get pregnant at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You may not want to go to your parents. So then what do? You go to Planned Parenthood. You're going to sit down with somebody. Oh, it's a doctor's office. They're going to walk you through the process, all these different things. It's a little bit uneasy for me when I think about it now, a lot uneasy. So let's keep going with the video. I haven't even been keeping up with, I saw Bez in the building. Bez, matter of fact, Bez out here. Bez, pull up, man. Bez said abort mission. Yeah. Hold on. All right, so let's keep going with the video. And because I want the other gentleman, Tom. I want Tom to come in and make a couple points.
They put these the forceps inside, and the baby's moving because it knows about the pain of this thing that's coming. Tom, you've heard about this before. Mm-hmm. So what do you think, Tom? Because this is, by the way, this is all factual. This is factual.
And very quickly, let me be the first person to say it, because I think this is what scares a lot of people. I'm not going to say that I've had an abortion, but I've gone through that process with somebody. And I'm just being totally transparent with y'all. I did not look at it how I look at it now. I did not look at it as much of a big deal. I'm just being straightforward with y'all. And let me kind of say that. So for the people that may have had them as well, just because you've had one doesn't mean that you have to shape your perspective moving forward based on the decision that you made in the past. You don't have to. Now, maybe that still makes you look at it a certain type of way. I'm just opening it up and being transparent with y'all and honest with y'all. So y'all feel comfortable maybe shifting your perspective on it as well, or just being open to it. I'm not, and this is not a pro-life or pro-choice conversation. This is a Planned Parenthood is taking advantage of a lot of young people in order to line their pockets and profit. Period. That's what this conversation is about. They're selling baby fetuses. They're selling, allegedly, that's what the article's saying. They are selling baby parts for research at different schools and institutions. Now, I'm sure y'all remember when y'all first got y'all license and they asked you like, hey, do you want to be an organ donor? All these different things. Yeah, that's donating an organ. But Planned Parenthood selling body parts, like if that doesn't make you raise an eyebrow, just that Planned Parenthood. Just at Planned Parenthood. We're not talking about pro-life, pro-choice. That's not this conversation. But Planned Parenthood, maybe you'll raise enough of an eyebrow to maybe take a step further as far as looking into what Planned Parenthood was based on. I know I've said it before, but take a look at that 1916 project. It tells the entire story of Planned Parenthood and Margaret Sanger. If you don't like Hitler, then there's a good chance that you won't like the lady that created Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger. Because eugenics, when they talk about eugenics with Hitler, go read up on Margaret Sanger. And you may even be more disgusted in some of the things that she's done because the way that she did it. It's almost like when Malcolm X used to talk about where it's the lion or the wolf. I mean, I'm sorry, the wolf or the fox. Just because Planned Parenthood smiles at us and gives us a hug doesn't mean that they don't want to do the same things that the wolf wants to do to us. So neither here nor there. Let's keep going.
They were selling babies for contract, and they were basically saying, if we take this fetus, 6 months old, that could survive, okay, totally healthy baby, we take it and we come up with the patent, you can't, it says we're taking all the money. That's the Planned Parenthood UC San Diego contract that they had. And this is all factual. And at least this is 2 months ago, I think, Marco Rubio, love him or hate him, he's actually standing up to this because it's ridiculous.
Tom.
Well, look, we know two things. Number one is that you can donate your body to science when you pass away. And if you pass away without cancer or poisoning or things like that, your organs can be harvested. You can elect, like right on your driver's license, you could say, I'm an organ donor. And your corneas, your kidneys and things can go to, or even your heart can go to somebody that needs it. So medical research and donating organs has been gone on for a long time. And sometimes it's an amazing thing. And you see these stories of people that hear a recording of their loved one's heart beating in the chest of a person that received the heart after their loved one died. So all of that's been going on. And now it extends to using the tissue from aborted babies for research as well. The second thing is we need to understand is that abortion is not just a political topic. It's an industry. It's billions of dollars of profit and billions of dollars of federal dollars that are given to Planned Parenthood that conducts the abortions, and then they take the tissue and they profit and use it for research purposes. And so you've got...
I didn't even look at it from that standpoint. So here they have people that are paying them for the service of having the abortion, and then they take the body parts and they go sell them. Now, this may sound crazy what I'm about to say, but first and foremost, it shouldn't be Planned Parenthood selling body parts. If it's wrong for people to say, well, I terminated my pregnancy and I'm donating, just like you could say, maybe you want to donate the body, whatever, to, now obviously this is more of a late term type of thing, late stage thing. I think it's after 23 or 24 weeks or something like that. Don't quote me on it. But shouldn't the mother and the father, and this sounds, the fact that I'm saying it and it sounds so crazy is why it's so crazy that Planned Parenthood is able to do it. Like the parents can't just come in there and say, hey, let me get that in a to-go bag and I'm going to, ship that off to Stanford to make some money. But that's exactly what Planned Parenthood is allowed to do. So now they're aborting babies and then taking the body parts and then selling that. Like that just sounds crazy to me. It sounds crazy.
On from the noble act of when you got your driver's license and saying, I'm willing to be an organ donor. Remember that? And they used to put like a dot or something on
Green
your driver's
sticker or
license.
whatever it was, yes.
Yeah. And so that's noble of you to do it, to try to help somebody after. You take all of that and medical research. Would you like to donate your body to science so we could do research on the walls of your heart and things like that to see how things gone? Or, when you're Alzheimer patient passes.
All right, so I wanted him to just get to the part where they were talking about how they target certain demographics differently, but I don't know exactly what part of the video. So let's move on. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.